And I heard it's really ghetto out there, but it's okay. It was really ghetto when I was out there too. What is up, you guys? It's your girl Z here. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. If you're not new here, what's up, girl? Welcome back. So today's video, we are going to be talking all things what your 20s teach you, what it feels like going into your 30s, is 30 old, all of that. We're going to be talking about all of that. So if you are interested in seeing this, please keep watching. All right, guys. So I kind of wanted to do just like a cute little chit chat, talk, relax. I'm just out here. I'm lounging on my couch. And I really just wanted to talk about what my 20s taught me. As most of you know, or if you don't know, your girl is freshly new to the 30 gang. I just turned 30 this month. I really didn't know how I would feel, or if I was supposed to feel anything, or what, you know, going into your 30s, because we all make 30 like, ooh, you're old when you turn 30. You're not 20 something anymore. So yeah, I really just wanted to chit chat, talk with you guys, and share what I learned in my 20s, what my 20s taught me, all of that good stuff. This is just real chill chit chat. I've never like done one of these on my channel before, but I figured why not, the perfect topic to talk about this. So like I said, your girl just turned 30, and I'm gonna start off by saying 30 is not old, okay? Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody tell you or call you old if you turn 30, or if you're in your 30s. 30 is the new 20, honey, okay? No, I'm kidding. But 30 to me was just all about, sorry y'all, cash gonna be cash. For me, 30 was just more so of a mindset, more than a number, more than anything. I feel like going into my 30s, I really wanted this, or going into my 30s, I feel like I had this just like sense of self, I guess you could say. Because I will say, y'all know your 20s, you are figuring out who you are figuring out a lot of things in your 20s. And not to say you're gonna have it all figured out by 30, because girl, no, I don't have it all figured out. But I feel like going into your 30s, you have more of a sense of who you are and the things you want out of life, and just, you know, you have more certainty. What I'm trying to say is who you are and what you want and things like that. So you're not gonna have it all figured out by 30. You're not. So stop. No, you're not. But that's the beauty of life. You're never gonna have it all figured out. Life is forever changing. You're forever growing. You're forever evolving as a person. So you're never gonna have it. Sorry y'all if y'all hear Cash. He really just will not be quiet. But that's just the beauty of life. So first thing I can say my 20s taught me is it's not a race. You know how we have these time stamps of, oh, I want to have this by this age, this by this age. Like, it's not a race. I feel like we put these time stamps of, okay, I graduated high school, so now I'm going to college. I graduated at 22. By 25, I want to be married. By 27, I want to have kids. And like, you put all these like time limits on your 20s. But to be quite honest, it may not happen that way, and you have to be okay with that. For me, for an example, I know for the longest, I would say probably up until I was 28, about 2 years ago, right when the pandemic hit, I had said, oh, I want to be a homeowner by 30. Where my house at? Oh, okay. So, you know, it's okay. Those things that you say you want planned out for yourself and all of that, it's okay if it does not happen, because it just doesn't happen that way. So those are things that you have to be okay with, and know that, okay, if I didn't get it by 30, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen for me. But I would say that's the first main thing. Life is not a race. You don't have to have certain things accomplished by a certain age to feel successful or feel accomplished. You know, a lot of women are always like, oh, if I'm not married by 30, then I'm just gonna be the rich auntie for the rest of my life. Like 30 is so young, you guys. 30 is so young. Don't limit yourself to, you know, these time stamps. So that's the first thing. The second thing I will say is enjoy your 20s, because time is going to fly by. It is literally going to fly by. You're going to wake up one day and you're turning 30 when you feel like you just turned 23 last year. Time waits for no one. So enjoy your 20s. Live them up. There's so much beauty, but there is struggle. There is struggle in the 20s, but there's so much beauty in your 20s to just enjoy it. Live it up. Do you, especially if you don't have any ties to a place or a person or anything, like live it up. Do all the things that you want to do. I'm not saying that you can't do them in your 30s too, because you can, but your 20s, you are in that young, I'm not gonna say young because I'm still young. You're in that phase of, you know, figuring out what you like and what you don't like and things like that. So definitely live it up. Why not? Let's see, the next thing that my 20s taught me. My 20s taught me a lot about just like relationships, friendships, all those ships in general. You get those situationships up in there too. But nah, my 20s taught me a lot about, just because you have to be okay with knowing that everybody can't go with you. You're not going to have the same friends that you did in middle school or in high school or in college. You're not going to have those same people go throughout your whole entire life with them. So you have to be okay with that. And I think for me, that was one of the hardest things for me, because listen, I'm a Capricorn. It's really like layers with me. So a lot of the friends that I've had since I was a teenager, like years and years. We got years on us. So I really like hone in on my friendships with people, and they mean a lot to me. So I had to learn to be okay with that. Like some people I'm just not going to grow with, and that's okay. It's not that anything happened, we didn't fall out, we didn't have a beef, we didn't do like nothing. Just people grow up and grow apart, and you have to be okay with that. For me, I think that was something that was always in the back of my head. I was like, well damn, like why did we just stop talking to each other? And I had to realize, like, it's just natural, you know. For a lot of my 20s, I did not live in my hometown, and a lot of my friends still lived here in Charlotte. I went away to Washington, D.C. for school. As most of you guys know, I went to Howard, and then after graduating from Howard, I moved to New York, and I didn't move back to Charlotte until I was 26 years old. So I just really had to be okay with knowing that, dang, you know, everybody can't go with me, and it's perfectly okay, and it's natural for people to grow up and grow apart. Even if y'all didn't just naturally grow apart, if there was friendships that you just realized, like, okay, maybe this friendship isn't serving me in the way that I needed to serve me anymore, it's okay to step away from it. And that was something I also had to deal with. I would say probably more so in my later 20s. I had to take a step back and be like, I don't really think this relationship is serving me in the ways that I needed to anymore. So I really just had to step back and step away, and that is okay. But for me, that was a little hard, because I do treat and nurture my friendships in a family-like manner. Like a lot of my friends, I consider them like family. So it was definitely something that I had to learn to be okay with, and know that there's no bad blood, there's no beef, there's no animosity, there's no anything. I wish each and every person the best, and I wish them all the success in the world. So that was something else that my 20s taught me. Another thing, dating in your 20s. Ooh, child. I've been out the dating game for 5 years now, and I heard it's really ghetto out there, but it's okay. But it was really ghetto when I was out there too. But I feel like in my, ooh, child. So in my 20s, I was single for the first half of my 20s. I didn't meet my fiance until I was 25 years old. But even at that point, we were long distance. I was living in New York, he was here. But prior to meeting him, dating, it was rough. So dating in your 20s, it can be rough, but it also can be a beautiful thing as well. So I would say what dating in my 20s taught me is to know what I want and what I'm looking for in a partner, and sticking to it. For so long, so many people told me, oh my gosh, Zenese, your standards are too high. What man is going to want to date you? You intimidate guys, you're intimidating. Like, I was told everything under the sun. Because prior to meeting my fiance, I was single for 7 years. But that was by choice, honestly. It was by choice because I had been in a relationship all of my teen years, and I just was like, you know what? Like, no, I'm good. But I did, of course, like go out on dates and date people and things like that. I will say dating in New York was ghetto as hell. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. So I'm so sorry if you live in New York and you're in your 20s. I'm so sorry. But just dating in my 20s really taught me to know what I was looking for in a partner and be okay with not settling. Because yes, I did run into quite a few. You know, mostly everybody I ran into was not up to the standards of what I was looking for in a partner. And I did not ever get discouraged or settle with whatever was being presented to me because, oh, well, I'm lonely or I'm alone. So, I mean, he don't check all the boxes, but, you know, no, like, it's okay to stand on what you want and not settle for anything less. And it's not that my standards were astronomical, like unattainable goals, but no, yes, I want a man who has a career. I never said, oh, he got to be making like 6 figures, all of this. Like, no, it was never that. But I wanted somebody who was essentially on my level, and on a sense of, yes, I'm out here working, career woman, you know, achieving goals and things like that. I want that in my partner because I don't want to be here and he's here and he feeling some type of way because, oh, I'm ambitious and going after myself, and well, you ain't never got time for me. Well, why you got so much time? You know, so I really just wanted somebody who was on my level, and I was willing to stand on that and not settle until, I wouldn't say settle, but I wasn't willing to get into a relationship until I met somebody who I felt like was my equal, in a sense, you can say. I'm not saying you have to be looking for your husband. You can literally just be out here dating to be dating. But I feel like as you get older, you know, as you get deeper into your 20s, most people start dating with intention and dating with a purpose. So that is what dating taught me. I mean, that's what my 20s taught me about dating. So the next topic, kind of playing off of that, but career, because I feel like your 20s, when you're trying to figure out what you're trying to do for a career and building your career and starting your career, it can be challenging. And even now, as a freshly 30-year-old, I am rethinking career opportunities and career moves that I want to do, that I want to make. So I will say what my 20s taught me about starting your career is it's okay to not know exactly what you want to do. It's okay to, y'all know we millennials, we like to job hop. We like to go somewhere for 2 years. All right, you served this purpose, now let me move on to the next part. Like, that is okay. For me, I went to school for fashion merchandising. As most of y'all know, I've talked about on my channel before what I do for my day job, which is in corporate retail. I kind of knew that's what I wanted to do prior to even going to college, so that's what I majored in college and all of that. And at 23, after I graduated college, I knew that for my career I needed to make the move to New York. So that's what I did at 23. I moved to New York. In your 20s, go after what it is that you want. If the job that you want or the career path that you want to take is going to lead you somewhere out of your comfort zone, is going to lead you to somewhere you've never been before, do it. Why not? Your 20s, when you don't have any true responsibilities as far as like kids, a husband, all, you know, if you're not tied down to anything, why not? You have nothing to lose. Take that leap of faith for your career. I moved to New York at 23 with literally like $1,500 saved up. That was it. But I knew it was something I wanted to do. I knew it was something that was gonna really like start my career, get my foot in somebody's door. So I was like, I gotta do it. So don't be scared to take that leap of faith when it comes to that job or that business venture. Don't be scared to do it, because in your 20s, you're typically, like I said, you don't have any ties to anything or anybody. So you have more freedom to really just take that leap of faith and do what it is that you want to do. And if it doesn't work out, that's the beauty of you did it in your 20s. So it's okay if you failed, quote unquote failed, because I necessarily don't see it as a fail. You tried, you did it, you tried. That's all you can ask for from a person. So I wouldn't necessarily say if you failed. You didn't fail because you gave it a try. It didn't work out for you. Okay. Sorry y'all, my camera cut off. I don't know where I left off, but basically careers in your 20s, figuring out what you want to do. So that also leads me into my next topic, and that is finances. Y'all, your 20s, I know we be broke in our 20s because they don't like to pay us, but the most important thing that my 20s taught me was to save, okay? I am not gonna lie, y'all. My early 20s, your girl ran through money like it was water. Like, water. I really didn't buckle down and really stack up a hefty savings until my later 20s. Life is a roller coaster. It is literally a roller coaster. With the highs are gonna come the lows, so you never know when that rainy day is gonna come. So definitely save your coins, okay? So I would say my late 20s is when I got so good at saving, and now like my savings has to be at a certain level or I don't feel comfortable. Like, and I don't, it's not that I take away from my savings a lot, because no, but I do have like an emergency fund. So if something comes up and I need to dip into that emergency fund, I have it there to, you know, go into, and then I will do what I got to do to put it right back. So definitely saving is the top thing that my 20s taught me, because you never know when that rainy day is gonna come. But also what I've I would say within the past year, and especially since I have been doing YouTube and this has become another source of income for me, is really focusing on ways to have multiple streams of income. Because I think it was right when the pandemic hit and everybody was like, one stream of income is too close to none for me. And that is very true. That is very, very true. So I would say the next thing is to definitely make sure you have multiple streams of income. If you don't, even it's just an extra one, having something extra, because you never, like I said, you never know. We didn't expect to be in a whole pandemic for 2 years, and with that, so many people lost jobs and things like that. So saving and having multiple streams of income is super, super important. And that's something that I'm taking into my 30s, is now trying to figure out, okay, yes, I do work a 9-to-5 job. What is some more sources of income where I'm not reporting to somebody, I'm not on their time? That's something that's now going to be on my time. I don't plan on leaving my 9-to-5, but having something that is mine and something that is a additional source of income for me. And also learning to invest my money. Yes, it's good to save it, but it's also good to have your money make more money for you. So learning what and how I should invest my money is definitely something that I started in my late 20s, that I'm learning in my late 20s, and definitely taking it over into my 30s. So saving, investing, multiple streams of income, all of those things when it comes to finances are super, super important. So definitely that aspect of finances is something that my 20s taught me. And then the last thing, well, one of the last things that I really want to talk about that my 20s taught me, and this was a rough one. Your mental health in your 20s is so, so important. I know for me, in my mid-20s, my mental took a hit when my brother passed away. So my best friend passed away in February of 2017, and then in June 2017 my brother passed away. So I got hit twice at the age of 25. Both were very sudden and shocking deaths. Like, my best friend passed away in her sleep, and my brother passed away in a car accident. So for me, those two things it took me out. And I can be in a very honest place right now. I was not mentally well. I was not. And that was one of the main reasons why I moved back to Charlotte. I had a panic attack in New York by myself. Ended up in the emergency room by myself. And at that moment, I knew I was not okay. I knew I was in a depressive state. I was not clinically diagnosed as depressed, but when I, went to the doctors, and I didn't know I was having a panic attack until I went to my follow-up doctor's appointment. But when she told me, no, Zenese, you had a panic attack, I knew at that moment my mental was not okay. So I had to learn, I got myself into therapy to deal with the grief that I was going through. And 5 years removed now, this year will be 5 years since both of them have passed. I can say that was one of the best things that I could have done for myself, was getting into therapy and talking it out, and talking to somebody that wasn't a family member or a friend who knew both of them. It was just somebody outside of the situation that was able to help me cope and deal with the grief. And not saying that it cured it, because y'all know grief is a very strange thing. You can be okay one minute, and then the next you can just be a mess. But learning to cope with it, and learning coping mechanisms and ways to handle it in a healthy way is what I didn't know how to do. So therapy helped me with that. And that actually led me to doing this YouTube channel. If y'all have been with me from the very beginning, I talked about that, how my therapist recommended that I had always wanted to do YouTube, and my therapist was like, well, why don't you start it? You never know. It can be therapeutic for you. It can be an outlet for you. It can be, a way to put your energy into something else. And that's how I ended up on YouTube. So definitely taking care of your mental health in your 20s is so important. I do feel like, you know, I feel like back in the day or before our time, therapy was kind of like a taboo thing, and people always thought, oh, something had to be wrong with you to go to therapy. This day and age, I feel like everybody needs to go to therapy at some point in their life, because there's so much just like trauma and just everything that we suppress that we don't realize we're suppressing, stress, all of that is just in us, and that you get it out. Therapy is the way to go, okay? So I will always recommend, if you feel like you are not in a good headspace, in a good mental place, therapy is beautiful. Therapy is a beautiful thing. So that is one of the main things that my 20s taught me, was take care of your mental, take care of you. There's nothing wrong with setting boundaries with the people in your life. There is nothing wrong with having your me time. That time is so important for you and your mental. There's nothing wrong with it. So if y'all didn't get nothing else from this video, if y'all didn't get nothing else from this video, take care of you. Your 20s is the time where you set those boundaries, you set those standards, where you set all of those things. So I really hope that this video was, one, helpful. I hope that this video was informative. I hope this video was what somebody needed to hear. Like I said, it was just really just a chit chat. Let's sit and talk. Y'all definitely drop your comments down below. Let me know if you're in your 20s or you're about to enter your 30s. What did your 20s teach you? How do you feel about leaving your 20s, about to go into your 30s? Or if you are 30, what's something that I should look forward to in my 30s? I'm being told that 30s is where it's at, so I'm just excited to see what is in store for me in my 30s. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more just like chill chit chat talk videos like this, please let me know and I will definitely do more. Yeah, I really hope that this video was helpful, and remember, 30 is not old. You are still young, alive, and kicking, okay? So that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.